Welcome to Modern Lifekeeping, where we talk about ways to thrive in today's world. I'm your host, Lori Christine. Today we will talk about ways to know ourselves. But first, I want to mention a magazine that I just published. It is curated content for self-healers. It can be purchased for $4.44 on Issuu, ISSUU. I will post the link below on the YouTube page for anyone interested in supporting Keara Kisses by purchasing a copy. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for your comments and questions. I appreciate you and hearing what you think about these topics. Have any of you been wondering about knowing yourself? Why is knowing ourselves important? Knowing ourselves is vital to understanding how we respond to the world around us. We all have behaviors, feelings, and thoughts that can sabotage us or serve us. Distinguishing between the two is an important step on our journey of life. Knowing ourselves requires us to focus our attention on our behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. And I will just state right now, I am not suggesting that you constantly be in your head, thinking about everything. I am instead asking you to be present in the moment, observing your behavior, feelings, and thoughts. Decide for yourself if they are sabotaging or serving you, and respond accordingly. So I'm suggesting that if you are going to be thinking anyway, consider being aware of your thoughts. Learn to allow thoughts to flow through you. As you observe your thoughts, you can notice how your body feels. It will tell you what you need to know. Do you feel expansive and infinite, or do you feel drained and limited? Learning to observe our thoughts from a reflective versus reactive perspective is like practicing meditation all day long without even trying. When we don't know ourselves, all kinds of drama can happen. We hit resistance where the energy is stuck in our body or our mind. We allow ourselves to remain in lower vibrations than our ideal vibration, sometimes in ignorance, sometimes to punish ourselves, and sometimes just to flex our willpower. All resistance is an indicator on your dashboard. Why are the brakes on? What does the resistance mean? What is it trying to show you? Knowing yourself helps you dig deeper and understand yourself on a truly intimate level. It also helps you to clearly interpret the resistance in a way that serves instead of sabotages you. Resistance shows up around our core beliefs. This is because the belief is limiting us. We are resistant to reaching for a better feeling thought for any number of reasons, some of which I've already mentioned. The reality is that no one else is going to do the work for us. Absolutely no one. That is the cold hard truth. We must look within ourselves and see all the parts that make us whole. Until we do so, we will continue to be detached from our highest self. We know we have work to do when we are defensive, offended, or reactive. We know we have work to do when we feel helpless, powerless, stifled, or triggered. We know we have work to do when we judge or place conditions on our love. The reward for the work is worth it. The reward for the work is self-healing, and it feels expansive and light. Self-healing is a long process as you continue to explore your unconscious thoughts. Work is happening anytime we examine our core beliefs. We are working anytime we get to know what we truly believe, not what we have been told to believe, not what we have been shown to believe, not what we think we should believe, but what we truly believe at our core. Allow your body to tell you the answers. Receive the information and know that you are perfect exactly as you are. Getting to know yourself is like learning the controls that make you who you are. The controls give you information about your direction. Too far in the past or future? Too fast or too slow? Your body gives you this information if you listen. It comes in the form of things including gut feelings, chills, inner knowing, aches, pains, injuries, illness, disease, and extrasensory ways like seeing and hearing. Examine your beliefs. Does the belief you are examining leave you feeling expanded or limited? Does it feel like a hell yes or a heck no? Sort through the beliefs you are aware of and measure them for these feelings. Start to reduce or eliminate the beliefs that keep you feeling limited. Transmute the energy into better feeling energy, thinking thought that expands you. I have embraced several core beliefs that I remind myself of in the moment. They include, things are happening for me, not to me. I am imperfectly perfect. What others think of me is none of my business. I chose these experiences for soul growth. Nothing is as it seems, and I will die when it's my time. That one actually helps me quite a bit. In addition to the core beliefs that surface, each one of us has beliefs that we are not aware of. They are programmed deep within us, and it may take something outside of ourselves to bring them to the surface. Lucky for us, our body is constantly communicating with us, but it requires us to listen. The way to discover beliefs that no longer serve you is by listening to your body. Pay attention to what is happening around you. Watch for feelings that are out of alignment with your best self. For example, when you become defensive or offended, you have underlying unconscious beliefs that are blocking you. They might be that you are not enough. People are out to get you. You are not safe. People are not trustworthy, etc. If I were to ask you if you felt any of these things, you might immediately deny them. Look deeper. It is your responsibility to identify your limiting beliefs and to transmute them into beliefs that serve instead of sabotage you. Of course, it is also your choice not to. Defensiveness is a sign that you can get to know yourself more. You can choose to understand why others have the power to make you feel defensive. What is within you that is being triggered? Defensiveness is a trigger. It is your ego's reaction to feeling threatened. Do you think it is healthy to feel threatened by someone else's beliefs, thoughts, or words? Does this logically make sense? This is the work that needs to be done. I know because I have had to do it. For a long time, I justified feeling defensive and even offended, but the truth is, I was giving my power away to others the entire time. I was revealing parts of my shadow side that were screaming to be managed. When our shadow side is seeping out into everyday life, it is time to give it the attention it seeks. Whatever is presenting itself is likely a disowned part of ourself. Get to know the part of yourself that needs attention, accept it, embrace it as a part of you, shine light on it, and create an inner dialogue that allows you to understand the part in a new way. When we are defensive, we are projecting the parts of ourselves that we have rejected onto others. Sometimes we are defensive because we are in fight or flight mode. Our hormones are out of balance. Maybe we are being abused, manipulated, or otherwise reactive as a survival mechanism. Whatever the cause for our defensiveness, it is no one's issue but our own. Our defensiveness often exacerbates the situation. When we become aware of our defensiveness, we can observe it and reflect on what was the thought behind the defensiveness. We can ask ourselves, what must I believe to be true in order to believe I need to be defensive in the absence of an actual versus a perceived threat? What parts are speaking out when we project? The parts that we repress to conform. When you repress parts of yourself, those parts within you interpret it as rejection. As a result, they hide deeper and become even harder to hear. Our egos in defense trick our perception and keep us from finding our shadow. Work to become aware of your flaws, weaknesses, hates, triggers. That's your shadow work. The benefits to integrating these parts with your lighter side include, but are not limited to, greater clarity, less triggering, and more empathetic feelings for others, clear perception of yourself and of things in the future and the past, awareness that will close the gap between your perception and reality. Your energy, you will feel free of heavy burdens and stress, confusion. You will feel whole. Things will be integrated instead of fragmented, so you won't be looking outside of yourself for parts of you that are already inside, because they won't be detached, they'll be whole. You'll also have greater potential to be creative. You can make a list of your good and bad parts, and I use those words in quotes because I don't believe in good or bad, but just for simplicity's sake, you can choose to see them that way, or your strengths and your weaknesses, or your strengths and your challenges, however you choose to perceive it. But the strengths are the traits that are showing, and the challenging parts of you are the parts that are hiding. And we all have them within us. They represent our shadow parts, and they're parts that we're probably repressing. So when we are unconscious and unaware of our real motivations, what drives our actions, emotions, behavior, and decisions, we are not aligned with our best self. So we can make it a habit to focus our awareness on what we're thinking and what beliefs are driving those thoughts. And each time our body responds with feelings of discomfort, we can take the invitation to dig deeper into the depths and uncover the beliefs that are driving those thoughts and transmute those beliefs into ones that serve instead of sabotage us. Know yourself so you can be yourself. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Modern Lifekeeping with Lori Christine, brought to you by Curated. Getting to know ourselves is an investment. The more uncomfortable it feels, the more valuable the information. Be patient, kind, and loving with yourself as you become who you are most meant to be. For more information on my individual and parenting support groups, retreats, and services, visit Keara, Keara, kisses.com. Thank you for listening. Until we meet again, keep wondering.